let's move on into a couple of transfer updates from the last few days. Now, there's a lot of noise coming out of Brazil about Andre. Now, he's been spoken about a lot recently. I think it was around the time of the Caicedo stuff. I think everyone pretty much confirmed that Liverpool had at least spoken to Fluminense, is it, about a potential deal. Now, a few reports over the last 24 hours have come out in Brazil. I've got a link here via the Sanfield who've kindly translated it for us, because I don't speak Portuguese, but they said Liverpool have had a €30 million verbal offer for Fluminense midfield that Andre rejected, according to reports from Brazil. Go on to say, Brazilian outlet Globo reports the Rio club want Andre to feature in both legs of their Copa de Libertadores quarter-final tie against Olympia, which takes place on the 24th and 31st. That'll be fun. If you get knocked out,
that'll be a race against time,
isn't it? The general thing is as well, obviously there's a release clause of around €40 million. It's obviously 10 million less than Liverpool have paid already. I don't know. And then obviously Dan Club, I don't know, you probably haven't seen this. Dan, early today, he spoke to Manuel Luiz, another Brazilian journalist, that he believes, and he's reported that Liverpool have already got personal terms agreed with the player, and he would quite like to move, and he would actually quite like to move this summer if possible. So that's where we're at with him. My general thinking on this one, and again, it's just my guess, is that this feels like a move that Liverpool are lining up to get done in January, and it's almost, if they want him now, they're going to have to pay that extra €10 million, and it's whether they want to. We know they can afford to. That can't be questioned. Now they've got the money. They put the cards on the table when they try to pay a record fee for Caicedo. But what are your general thoughts on Andre? Is it looking more towards like a January type thingish? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it depends whether they want to sign him, isn't it? They're looking at. They made contact with him around the Lavia as an alternative as a Lavia. Or when he was the sort of leading light of it, I think Caicedo overtook both of them, obviously, in that sense. So that was done. And the word from Fluminense was, no, we're not selling, not this summer. Try again in January. And, I don't know if Liverpool have shown this summer, apart from Caicedo, really, that they're gonna try and get value on it. They're not gonna just say, okay, well, his release clause is this, we want to offer 25, now we'll just offer 10 million more. They don't tend to, Szoboszlai was a bit different in the sense of that was getting him cheaper than you were going to get him. The release clause was the cheapest way to get him. This is another one that Liverpool probably think, well, we're taking £35 million to get a player straight from Brazil. Played once for Brazil. He's never played outside of his home country. That's a lot of money. I think that This Is Anfield one suggests it would double. I think it would double their biggest ever sale, which is a player called Gerson. So that is a lot of money to take for a player from the Brazilian league. You'd have to be 100% convinced that he's the man, and I'm not sure Liverpool are yet there with that. It might be one that they look to get, like you say, for January. Maybe if they lose 6-0 in the first leg of the Copa Libertadores on the 24th, then that might help something. Maybe if Andre sort of kicks a bit of a fuss up, that might change things. But I don't know if Liverpool are as desperate for him right now as they were 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago before Endo signed, because he is a number 6. He is a defensive midfielder. He's someone who his skill set, he's good on the ball as well, but his skill set really lies in breaking up play, tackles, winning his duels, winning his battles, header, physicality, and that's, I know he's a bit smaller than even Endo, who's not especially big. Having interviewed him on Saturday, I can confirm he's my height, so he's not an imposing physical presence. Andre's even smaller.
I'd say you're quite imposing, Neil.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, no one who's played centre mid against me would ever say I'm imposing. They'd say I was friendly. So I'm not sure the need is as great at the moment for Liverpool to go and get him right now. But if there's a deal to be done, at a price that they what they would like to pay, which I think it was around 20-25, would be the sort of the starting pitch, then potentially, but I think it looks like Fluminense are going to talk about another player in a similar boat at the moment, but it looks like Fluminense are pretty keen to keep him.
Yeah, and it's difficult really, because again the reporting out of Brazil is, like you say, the player would quite like to move.
Yeah, well, I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the issue around the deal. Is Liverpool can't afford Andre's wages, or Andre doesn't want to leave Fluminense for Liverpool. I think you can sort of take it as a given that personal terms or, you know, attracting the player won't be a problem. I think it'll be the club to club issue that would be biggest.
I suppose the question for Liverpool that they need to ask themselves then, Neil, is £10 million-ish, maybe a bit less to get him now than it would be in January. Is it a gamble that you're willing to take? You know, because if you think about it, if the season goes as badly as last season went, that £10 million becomes X amount if you don't get Champions League football. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
but it also comes to the point where, what about if your centre backs start dropping like flies in October, November, and you think, oh, we've committed 30 million to a player to play in midfield. You know, we really need to sign a centre back in January now, or, you know, a forward or a left back. You know, so you are also putting yourself in a position where circumstances can come. You know, Liverpool weren't planning to sign Cody Gakpo in January, last January, but they were able to make that direction after the World Cup or after the winter break, and they had the funds, they had the space, they had the ability to do it. If you've got deals already lined up in January, then maybe you don't have that same flexibility. If someone else becomes available, you think, oh God, where were we there? You know, like, or you think, you know, injury crisis, or, you know, just a player that you were thinking for next summer. Suddenly you think, actually, you know, we can get him out now, or, you know, we have to get him out now because someone else is going to sign him. So there's issues there as well. That, you know, you can. There's two edges to the gamble. The gamble could be, you know, that you might be sitting there going, oh, we've got this midfielder coming in January, we can really do with him now. Or you could be looking at it saying, we've got this midfielder coming in January, we don't need him necessarily, we need something else. So, you know, there's a lot to consider around setting up deals like that. If you're asking me honestly, I'd say probably there's a chance Liverpool sign him. I think it probably would be likelier in January than it is now. But I wouldn't say there's any guarantee that they're definitely going to go and sign him. Yeah,
fair enough. I think that's where we're at with it now. I think
I'd be interested though. I would be interested to see it in terms of his a player like him, because he's you know, he's the sort of player Liverpool haven't really signed before, you know, or certainly not recently. You know, they're not really at a team that take that kind of gamble, are they? That, you know, we sort of, you can generally judge where Liverpool are going to sign a player from, can't you? Or, you know, they're going to wait and make them prove themselves in Portugal or wherever, Germany, Premier League. So I would be fascinated if Liverpool took a punt on a relatively unknown player.
Yeah, and we'll see how that one pans out. I'm sure there'll be more news updates to come. And like I say, if they get battered in 2 days,
they'll be speaking to Dan Club, won't they?
Honestly, the Brazilian journos and Dan Club, they're two peas in a pod. They're texting him to give him updates. It's brilliant. Yeah, Emmanuel Luis today. He's had a couple of others as well. Yeah, so they're all over it. But we'll see how it goes. Yeah, we'll keep you updated. Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed that clip from our Journo Insight show. If you want to check out that entire show, we spoke a little bit about the Bournemouth game, a little bit about Ryan Gravenberch as well, and I had a little tiny peek towards Newcastle. Head on over to redmenplus.com, and we've extended our special offer. So if you sign up before midnight on Wednesday night UK time as a Captain Yearly subscriber, use the code ENDO, ENDO, and you'll get that for 50%. So yeah, half price for an entire year's worth of Redmen Plus content. Head on over there, check out Journo Insight and all the other amazing content that we continue to produce for you guys each and every day. I'll see you over there.
Thank you so much for watching. The new season is here. Come and join us over on redmenplus.com for fantastic shows, pre and post-match content, journalistic insights into all Liverpool's transfer business, documentaries, interviews, features and more. Head to redmenplus.com, sign up today and fill your boots with Boss Liverpool content.